Good evening and namaste, everyone. Welcome back to the Asana Sana Yoga studio. And tonight we are here for our Asana Sana strength class. This is a class that is focused on flexibility and gathering strength through yoga. So while sometimes we might use some weights, most of the time what we're going to do is use our own body weight to develop our strength and to work on our flexibility through our joints, because it's really great being able to do yoga, but it's really awesome building up those muscle fibers and building up our skeletal system as we age, because then it helps us with walking around and being mobile as we get older. So let's get ready here. Let's all take a seat on the mat. Let's come in here into Kasana. And as before, let's switch our legs around. A nice, easy seat, crisscross applesauce. Go ahead and spread the flesh of your sits bones away from your body so that you can come into a good centered pose. Now from here, let's take 3 deep breaths into the nose, out through the mouth to center. Last one, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Excellent. And as we're here, sitting and grounded in this nice Sukhasana pose here, we're just going to set some gentle intentions for class. And if you'd like, you can softly flutter your eyes. And let's take a deep thought on how we'd like to intend to move around through this workout here, or through this yoga class, workout yoga class. I can share for you my intentions if you're not used to setting your own before working out or doing any kind of movement flow. My intentions is to move you through this flow purposefully and with a good intent to building flexibility. And tonight's class will be focused on spinal flexibility. So building up that spinal flexibility that will help later on in life with our back things, so we don't get a lot of back pain. So those are my intentions. And you can either share those with me in the chat box there, or you can keep them to yourself, however you'd like to set your intentions for class. But let's get started here. Let's inhale. Start to just relax the neck. Let's start with some yes no's. Go ahead and shake your head no. Gently, slowly, waking up those neck muscles, waking up the trap muscles, beginning to open the fascia lines of the shoulders and the upper back. Gently shaking the head. And let's bring ourselves slowing down right back to the middle here. Let's gently start to nod our head yes. You don't have to go all the way back like a Pez dispenser. Just enough to wake up all the muscles in there. Letting our body know that we're getting ready for some movement. Excellent. Let's slow ourselves down, coming back to center here, and start to circle the head. Either direction first, because we're going to do both ways. Inhale as you circle up, exhale as you circle down. Keeping our breath in its natural movement. Wonderful. Slowing it down, bringing it to center. Let's circle the head going the other direction. Inhale up, exhale as you go back down again. Wonderful. Let's slow down our movements, bringing our heads back to center. Let's inhale those hands up into the sky, and let's drop our left arm at about a 45-degree angle, taking our right palm, bringing our head down where we're making our right ear meet our right shoulder, gently easing, opening up the sides of the neck. Just breathe. From here, let's inhale the head up once more, removing that hand. Let's turn facing to the right. Let's exhale, bringing that chin down to the top of our shoulder, using our right palm to stretch out the back of that neck. Excellent. Inhale, releasing that right arm now down to a 45-degree angle. As we bring our left hand up, let's release that left ear to that left shoulder, exhaling out. Breathing here, allowing each exhale to open up the side of the neck just a little bit more. Let's inhale the head up, turning to the left, bringing that chin down to the shoulder, helping the head come down a little bit further. Exhaling, picking up the back of the neck on the left side. Excellent. Inhale that hand back down, coming back to center here. Let's take that head this time. Taking our hands as we exhale, let's look down and gently tug our head down with our hands, just gently nudging it. You don't want to pull yourself, just nudge a little bit, feeling the back of your neck muscles stretching out. Excellent. Let's inhale those hands up to the sky once more. Exhale, let's clasp the fingers together. And this time, gently nudge your head the other way to open up the muscles in the front of your neck. Gently, gently. Excellent. Now release. Now let's bring our hands down to the sides on the mat here. We're just going to inhale, rolling our shoulders up and forward. Coming in with our natural breath, waking up the shoulders as we move down our torso. Wonderful. Let's slow this down, coming back the opposite direction, up and over. Doing good. Let's slow ourselves down, inhaling those hands out to a T. Let's go ahead and exhale that right arm up and down the back. Using our left hand, let's go ahead and just give it a gentle tug, helping that shoulder stretch from the other side. Really breathe into this. This is a nice stretch you can do every so often if you work on a computer, if you're sitting, or even first thing in the morning. Just nice to opening up those shoulders and that chest. Excellent. Let's exhale our arms out to a T, bringing that right arm around this time. Go ahead and gently grab that wrist, giving it a gentle tug to the left, exhaling the front of that shoulder open, giving a good shoulder stretch. Wonderful. Let's exhale our arms out to a T once more, bringing our right hand across the front. Go ahead and stretch out that arm on the right hand side. Let's exhale those arms out to a T. Inhale the left arm up, switching it around. Using the right hand here to help the left arm down the back, stretching it out. Let's inhale our hands up to a T again, sending that left arm behind the back, gently grabbing that wrist and giving it a little tug as we stretch out the front of our shoulder. Excuse me. Let's inhale our arms out to a T, exhaling, bringing that left arm in front as we gently stretch the left arm coming the opposite direction. Wonderful. Let's exhale, releasing the arms and just giving them a good shake. Wonderful. Let's bring our hands back down to our lap. Try not to shake off my rings. Setting our hands gently on our knees. Let's start to warm up our spine, as today's class is about spinal flexibility. Let's start by gently inhaling, arching the chest. Exhaling, coming to that cat rounded back. Let's inhale, coming to cow, exhale into cat. And with each inhale and exhale, go ahead and see if you could just come a little bit further. Inhaling, allowing yourself to arch just a little bit more each time, really warming up that spinal column and those back muscles, the back end of our core muscles. Excellent. Nice and smooth with your everyday breath. From here, let's slow it down, bringing it to center. Let's inhale, coming to the right side. Exhale as we scoop ourselves coming into the back. So inhale, coming to the right as we extend our chest forward. Exhale as we scoop our bellies and our chest coming to the back. Inhale to the right. Exhale, coming around. Very good. Opening up that spine, opening up that chest, waking up those core muscles in the back. Doing a wonderful job. Excellent. Let's finish and come here to stillness. Let's inhale this time going to the left, exhale to the right. And each time, see if you can come a little bit wider with your circles. Really waking up those good muscles there. Just letting our body know, hey, we're going to work on the spine today, just so you're ready. Looking forward to it. Get in there, champ. Last one, really make it count. Exhale as you come to the center here. Back up into seated. Let's inhale those hands up once more. And here we're just going to exhale, bringing that right arm to the floor. The forearm here, we're just going to bring that left arm over, stretching out our obliques, coming into our side stretch. And if you'd like, you can go ahead and inhale, exhaling your face up to the sky, coming into a bit of a revolved angle. Excellent. Let's inhale, coming back to a T. Exhale, going over to the left side here. Really stretching that body out. And with each exhale, see if you can just extend that overhead right arm just a little bit further, keeping that right hip on the mat, really stretching out our obliques. Let's inhale, coming up to a T once more. Exhale one more time to the other side. Maybe placing that arm in the lap, really twisting ourselves down. Breathing into that side body. Inhale, coming out to a T, placing that left arm in the lap this time. Exhaling, coming down into our seated twist. Keeping that right hip on the mat. Let's inhale ourselves back up to a T. Exhale those hands up into the sky, sending the shoulders back down the back, keeping your shoulders away from your ear and your blades down your back. Inhale, let's turn to the right as we exhale, bringing our arms down, coming into a seated twist. We're going to hold here for a few breaths. And with each exhale, see if you can get just a little bit deeper into your twist. You can use your knees as a help to help push yourself just a little bit more. Let's inhale those hands up once more to the sky, turning to center as we exhale. Inhale once more, turning over to the left, exhaling, twisting to the left side. And remember, with each exhale, see if you can sink just a little bit more into the twist. Stimulating those digestive muscles, opening up that spine. Excellent. Let's inhale our hands up to center. Exhale, coming to center, releasing our hands. Taking a deep breath, recentering ourselves, maybe refixing if we need to. Let's inhale the hands up once more. Exhale as we bring our arms around the back, opening up that chest. Let's drop our heads to the floor, coming into reclined forward fold, bound forward fold. And make sure you keep your hip bones on the mat as we drift forward here. Let's inhale ourselves back up into seated, exhaling those arms out. And now let's get ready for our class. Okay, so I'll meet you here at the top of the mat. Starting here, so we have the top half of our body, our head, shoulders, and our torso all warmed up for class today. Let's get into our sun sounds. Here we're going to start in our mountains at the top of our mat, as always. Make sure your feet are hip width apart. If you have been with class with me before, you already know the drill. But if not, let's keep those ankles nice and flexed, or nice and strong, keeping our knees unflexed, floating over the ankles. Let's keep our hips over our knees, tilting our pelvis bowl so that it's nice in that neutral position, rolling our shoulders up and back, sending the shoulder blades down the back, closing the ribs, keeping the ribs unflared as we pull our rib bones to be right over our hip bones, keeping our ears nice and over neutral over our shoulders and our chin parallel to the floor. To get started, let's inhale those hands up to the sky, exhaling into the chair. Let's take a swan dive coming into that forward fold. Inhale halfway up, exhale, placing the hands on the mat. Let's take a gentle step back into our plank. Inhale, exhale your way down as you inhale, coming back up into, let's call this a Sphinx pose. Let's curl those toes here as we take a deep inhale, exhale, sending our hips up into the side. Let's slowly walk out those ankles, waking up the legs, waking up the back of the legs there, the calves, the hamstrings. Let's inhale that right foot up into the air. Exhale, placing it on the mat. Drop that back leg here, that left knee. Inhale, coming up into a low lunge. From here, let's inhale, straighten out that front leg, placing the hands on the mat, curling those back toes. Extend all the way out to your plank once more. Inhale, exhale your way down in your chaturanga. Inhale, coming up to that upward dog. Let's curl those toes, exhaling, sending our hips back, walking those hips out, opening up the back of the legs, slowing it down. Let's send the left leg this time up into the sky. Exhaling it, placing on the mat. Drop that back foot as we inhale, coming into our low lunge. Inhale, straightening that leg. Exhale, placing the hands on the mat, curling the back toe. Coming back into our chaturanga. Inhale into our upward dog. Very good. Curling those toes. Exhaling, sending those hips once more into the sky. Walking out again. Because hey, why not, right? Let's walk our feet up to our hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, we're going to come into a half flat back. Exhale, hands all the way down. Let's inhale those hands up to the sky. Exhaling them down into prayer pose. Excellent. Let's do that again. Starting in mountain pose. Let's inhale those hands up to the sky. Exhaling into chair. Go ahead and swan dive yourself forward and then a halfway forward fold. Let's inhale ourselves halfway, hands on shins. Exhale, placing the hands on the mat. Let's take a step back into that plank. Exhale, coming down into your chaturanga. Inhale into your upward dog. Very good. From here, let's curl those toes. Exhaling, sending our hips back into the sky. Walking out those feet once more. Why not? Let's inhale that right leg this time up into the sky, keeping our hips square. Exhaling it, dropping that left leg. Inhaling, coming into our low lunge. From here, inhaling those hands back down to the mat once more. Let's take a step back into our chaturanga. Coming down, inhaling up into our upward dog. Curl those toes as we exhale our hips back into the mat. And this time, let's just go right ahead into the down dog here. Let's three-legged dog, the left leg up into the sky, exhaling the foot, dropping that knee. Inhaling, coming up into our low lunge. Wonderful. So exhale the hands back down, stepping back into our chaturanga. Inhale up to our upward dog. Let's curling those toes, taking an inhale, exhaling, sending your hips back up into the sky. Let's walk up to the top of the mat, meeting the hands. Inhale, coming halfway forward fold. Exhale all the way down. Let's inhale those hands all the way up. Exhaling into prayer pose. Wonderful. Let's start to pick up things just a little bit so we're ready to get more of that dynamic movement. So we're keeping our body moving, working on our spinal flexibility. Inhale up into hands up into the sky. Exhale into that chair. Swan dive yourselves forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, placing the hands on the mat. Let's take a step back. Inhale, exhale into your chaturanga, coming on up into that downward dog. Curling those back tails. Let's exhale ourselves into a downward dog. Inhale that leg up into the sky. Exhale, placing it on the mat, dropping the foot. Let's inhale as we drop that foot on an angle. Exhale. This time we're going to come up into a warrior two. And let's pulse it here, just a moment here, just waking up the leg. Excellent. Cartwheel as we inhale, bringing those hands back down on the mat, taking a step back into that plank. Exhale. Inhale up. Curling those toes one long time. Exhale, sending our hips into the sky. This time left side, all the way up into the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale as we drop that back foot on an angle, coming up into our warrior two. Pulsing if necessary. Inhale, let's turn to the front. Exhale, dropping those hands down on the mat. Coming on down. Let's inhale up into that upward dog. Curling our toes. Let's exhale into our downward dog. From here, let's hop, walk, or jump your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale all the way down. Inhale. Coming down to prayer pose. Meeting once more at the top of the mat. Let's do it again. Inhale those hands up. Exhale in chair. Go into our forward fold. Come halfway. Exhale, hands down to the mat, stepping back to your plank. Chaturanga, inhale, ups. Coming into our up dog. Let's go ahead and take an exhale as we send our hips to the back. Coming into our downward dog. Let's send our right foot up into the sky. Exhaling, placing it on the mat, dropping that left foot. This time as we come up, let's release, coming into Revolved Warrior. Inhale, cartwheeling those hands forward to the mat, taking a step back. Let's exhale into our chaturanga. Inhale up to our upward dog. Curling those toes, exhaling as we send our hips back into the sky. Let's set that foot up one more time. Exhaling, this time the left one forward, dropping that right foot, coming up into Revolved Warrior. Inhale that hand down, taking a step back. Exhale, coming up into our upward dog. Curl the toes, exhale the hips back, sending them in that upward dog. Let's hop, skip, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, coming up half back, flat way. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Inhale those hands all the way up once more. Exhaling down in prayer pose. Let's do one last sun salutation to make sure everything is nice and warmed up and ready to go. Let's inhale the hands up to the sky, exhaling into a chair. Let's swan dive ourselves down. Inhale, halfway flat back. Exhale, place your hands on the mat. Walking down, coming into your plank, upward dog. Let's curl those toes as we come into our downward dog, sending our right leg up into the sky. This time, we're going to inhale, just bring our hand forward, opening up, exhaling into either an extended side angle pose or a triangle pose. Let's inhale, cartwheeling those hands forward, taking a step back, coming down into the plank, and then into an upward dog. Let's curl those toes, exhale, sending the hips to the back. Let's send this left leg up to the sky this time. Remember, I'm going to come around for you. Remember, moving your hands just to the other side, coming into that either extended angle or a triangle pose. Inhale, let's place the hands back down on the mat, coming down into that plank. Inhale up into our downward dog, curling those toes, exhale, and exhale into our downward dog. Let's hop, jump, or skip to the top of the mat. Inhale halfway, exhale down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale your hands down into prayer pose. Woo, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel nice and warmed up. So let's get started without further ado. Let's end up here in mountain pose. Remember to keep our good alignment, keeping our feet hip width apart. Just either eyeball it with a fist or go ahead and do it with your feet. But we're coming here in mountain pose. And let's catch our breath. Just swaying a little bit if you're playing music or if you're listening to the music that I have playing. Swaying just a little bit. Let's inhale those hands up to the sky. Exhale as we come into a full five-pointed star. Now inhale those hands together. And you can keep your hands either in prayer pose overhead or extend them into what I like to call Charlie's Angles fingers, connecting with spirit. I'm going to take a deep inhale, exhaling, sending our arms over to the side, keeping them straight, coming into the side banana laterals here. Let's inhale, coming up to the middle, exhale, sending those hips over, coming to the left. Wonderful. Inhale, coming up to the center, and let's further open up those hips. 5 breaths on each side as we bend. So in, exhale, use your natural breath. Let's do 3 more breaths. Two more breaths. Inhaling as you come to the center, exhaling as we're bending. And this is our last breath. Exhaling to the right, inhale to the center, exhale to the left. Let's release those hands, coming back into our mountain pose. And from here, let's inhale those hands up into the sky once more into 5-footed star. Let's exhale, coming into that forward fold. From here in that forward fold, let's grab our ankles, taking a deep inhale, coming up on the toes. If possible, exhale, let's come down to our malasana, just opening up those legs. And if you can guess here, we're going to come into a nice flow. So as we straighten up, inhale, let's exhale, sending the arms up into the sky, coming into that back bend. So let's go ahead and do that 5 times. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Opening up those back muscles. We have 2 more. Last one. Wonderful. Feels really good. Inhale, and I'm just going to turn here for benefit. Exhaling, bring your hands down to the mat. Let's walk our hands a little forward as we step ourselves into a down dog here. And from this down dog, we're just going to do another flow, working on our spine. We're going to down dog, inhale ourselves into an upward dog. Exhale, down dog, inhale, up dog. And just keep yourself moving. We're going to do this for 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, really opening up the spine, allowing your body to wake it up. 2 more. Last one, guys. Let's do one more, just for fun. Inhale, exhale into our downward dog. And let's inhale our right leg this time up into the sky as we hold this resting pose. 3-legged dog. All right, let's bring that right leg forward this time, dropping that foot in between your hands. Drop that left foot on an angle. Let's inhale ourselves up, coming into our warrior 2, taking an inhale. Let's curl our arm, exhaling into our extended side angle pose. Holding here for just a breath. Let's bring that hand to the floor, turn that foot. As we come up, we're going to just relax ourselves, coming into a malasana for a moment. From that malasana, let's inhale our hips up, turning that foot out to the left. Exhale, coming into an extended side pose. So we're just going to do that for a flow. So it's almost like we're just kind of doing a little cartwheel. And since we've done malasanas, why don't we keep ourselves into a 5-pointed star? So starting on the right, from the right side, with our breath, let's inhale up, exhale down. Inhale. Moving, feeling good. And let's do this for 4 more breaths. Two more. Last one. And then we're just going to do one bonus one I like to call ending on the right side here. As we hold ourselves just for a moment. Let's turn our hands coming down to the mat. And let's exhale that right leg once more up into the sky. And then inhale, bringing it forward. Let's drop ourselves down, bringing ourselves into a pigeon pose. Now, your front knee does not need to be parallel to the front of the mat, but your back leg does need to be parallel to the side. So holding here, let's rest in this pigeon pose for a few breaths. And if it is within your practice today, you may inhale that foot up and come into a mermaid pose of your choosing, further stretching out the quads. Let's hold here for 2 more breaths. Excellent. Let's exhale that hand down, bringing our hands back to the mat, curling that back toe. Let's inhale that leg right back up to the sky, exhaling it, bringing it down to the mat. This time, let's inhale. I'll turn myself around for your benefit, guys, so you can see me. Let's inhale that left leg up. Exhale, bringing it down through, keeping that right leg this time parallel to the back of the mat. Exhaling, coming into our pigeon pose. Very good. And remember, if it is within your practice today, go ahead and inhale that foot up, coming into the mermaid pose of your choosing, if it is within your practice. Excellent. Holding it good. Breathing here for 4 more breaths. Returning our heart rate down just a little bit. And we have one last movement flow before we come into the cool down phase. Let's release that foot if you're holding it. Let's bring those hands back to the mat, curling that back toe. Let's press ourselves back into that 3-legged dog, this time with our left leg, exhaling it down to the mat. And let's come into that downward dog, upward dog flow once more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Very good. We're going to do that 4 more breaths. 2, 3, 4. One more. Exhale, coming down to the mat in that upward dog, releasing, bringing ourselves down, coming into that cobra pose. As we breathe ourselves out, let's hold here for a few breaths. Continue holding your cobra pose. I'm just going to come around for your benefit. Excellent. Keep holding here. A few more breaths. Whew, it's a very good flow. Very good. Wonderful. Let's release ourselves down to the mat here. And what our next pose is going to be, let's inhale those hands forward, exhale, coming around, taking a deep inhale, exhale, bringing your legs and your chest up. Let's come into locust. And if this is within your pose today, go ahead and grab your inner feet, exhale yourself a little flat, pulling yourselves up into a full bow pose if that is within your practice. If not, please hang out in locust. But keep yourself nice and engaged while we hold this for 5 more breaths. Flexing those feet up in bow pose. 2 more breaths, or 3 more breaths after this, excuse me. Last breath, really make it count. Inhale. Let's exhale, releasing from locust or from bow. Bringing our hands just underneath our shoulders. Let's push up as we exhale, coming into the child's pose of choice. I'm going to take a wide leg child's pose, extending myself here. Keeping my arms extended for that extended child's pose. Just breathing. Breathe through the pose. Excellent. Now, however you decided to take your child's pose, please meet me where our arms are extended out and in front of us here. We're going to come into an extended child's pose. We're going to inhale and walk our hands over to the right side as we stretch out our spine and our obliques to the right in child's. Make sure you keep that left hip firmly planted onto your feet so that you're twisting and stretching the back muscles and your spine and not your thighs. Excellent. Let's inhale, walking ourselves over to the left this time with an exhale, stretching over to the left side. Making sure you can still see me in the camera. Excellent. Let's inhale ourselves here to the middle once more. Let's exhale and release, coming to a child's pose. Gently coming up and meeting me here on our knees. From this next pose, we're going to come into our final spinal stretch for this evening. We're just going to come into our camel pose. So inhale our hands up to the sky. Let's exhale, coming back, sending the arms back, gently bending the back. If this is within your practice and you'd like to extend a little further, you can go ahead, making a fist. Go ahead and gently nudge that lower back a little bit further out. And if a little bit more want to extend your progress, you can go ahead and reach, or your practice today, go ahead and reach down for those ankles, coming in to the full extension of a camel pose. But from here, whichever extension you like to be, make sure you're keeping your shoulders down from your ears, breathing into your camel pose. And let's hold here for 4 more breaths. Two more breaths. Last breath. Let's inhale, bringing ourselves back up into center. Let's exhale, taking ourselves down into child's pose. Holding here as a counter pose. Breathing deep, feeling your music. Excellent. Let's inhale ourselves back up to tabletop here. Well, into tabletop, not back up to. Let's take another, as we exhale, let's take another inhale, sending our right arm this time underneath our left. We're going to come into thread the needle pose, allowing that left or that right ear to hit onto the mat, resting. Breathing. Excellent. From here, let's inhale, bringing our hand flat down to the mat again. Let's exhale the left arm this time, coming into that thread the needle pose on the left. And this is just further stretching out the shoulders, as we did move them a lot today when working on our spine. Let's inhale, coming back into tabletop here. And let's exhale ourselves back down to seated, relaxing. And let's meet each other here, down in cobbler's pose, with the soles of our feet touching. Coming into that cobbler's pose, butterfly's pose. Let's just gently bounce out our knees, allowing our breathing to come back to normal. Excellent. Let's inhale, straightening ourselves up. Exhale as we help our legs come out into that straddle fold. We're going to inhale those arms up to the sky. This time we are going to exhale, turning to the right, bringing our head to knee. And if it is within your practice, go ahead and extend peace fingers on your right arm, grabbing the big toe, bringing that left arm around and back, coming into a revolved head to knee if it is within your practice. Either way, let's hold here, keeping the feet engaged and flexed, breathing through as we continue to work on our spine flexibility this evening. Excellent. Let's inhale, releasing, coming back to center, sending those arms up to the sky. Let's turning ourselves this time to the left as we exhale, grabbing our big toe, if it's within our practice, with our left hand, sending that arm around, coming into an extended head to the knee. Exhaling with our face into the sky. Let's inhale, bringing that arm around, turning, coming up to the front once more. Holding our arms up, let's take a deep inhale as we exhale forward this time. And if you're having a little trouble with that, without hunching yourselves, pop your knees so that you're pulling out of your hip flexors, extending the spine. Let's inhale, coming right back up. Exhale, let's send our arms down to the mat here, dropping onto our forearms, keeping ourselves in extended, arching. I have to move a little bit away from my wall, but arching our back, coming into almost a wide leg fish pose. Dropping the head if it's within your practice today, but keeping your legs engaged, arching that back the other way. Keep breathing. And really make sure that you keep your shoulders away from your ears in this pose. It's very easy to hunch in. You want to keep yourself nice and engaged through stretching out those shoulder caps. Excellent. Inhale, coming back up to seated. Let's exhale those legs back together, shaking the legs out. Very good. All right, I'm going to turn to the side here. Let's find ourselves laying here on the mat. Exhaling, let's bring our feet flat to the mat surface here. And we're just going to inhale those hands up, stretching out as we need to, getting nice and comfortable. Exhale, bringing the hands down to the side of us on the mat. And I do that so we can align our arms, bringing our palms flat to the mat, keeping our shoulders nice and down and our chest wide and open. We're going to come into our bridge pose here and we're going to hold it for a few breaths. But I want to make sure that we're nice and properly aligned, keeping those knees parallel and together, tracking them forward, sending them in the direction of their toes. Let's take a deep inhale as we curl that pelvis slowly, painstakingly, pulling our spine off of the mat, our occipital bone down in the back of our head as we come into a full extension of our bridge pose here. And if this is what you'd like to keep today, you can go ahead and stick a block underneath you if you need the support, or you can hold here on your bridge. If it's within your practice, you can definitely bring your hands up, scooching your legs a little bit closer, inhale a little bit further, coming into a wheel pose. But we're going to hold here for 5 breaths. Allowing that head to relax, whatever pose you're in, or if you're in your wheel pose. And if you're in your bridge pose, keeping your knees, in both poses, keeping your knees together. Keeping yourself nice and engaged. Really showing off the flexibility of that spine. And let's hold here, taking an inhale and on our last breath. Let's exhale, curling yourselves back down to the mat, starting from the top of the back, exhaling, bringing that pelvis down last. And if you're in wheel, bringing your arms down to the side of your body, allowing them to relax there as well. You can go ahead and shake out your wrists if you're in wheel pose. And because I love that pose so much and we're working on spinal flexibility today, let's try that one more time. Now, if you've done a bridge pose before and you're very comfortable with bridge poses but have never done a wheel, I highly recommend, if you'd like to give it a try, you just want to put your hands by your shoulders and gently press yourself up using the same exact way as doing the bridge pose. If you're not sure about it, I would definitely try it first. Watch a few tutorials. Try it first with someone around you so that if you feel like you're going to fall, you can have someone there to catch you. But let's cue ourselves up. If you're coming into your bridge, keeping your arms close to the side, we're just going to curl up into our bridge pose. If you want to go into your full extension of the wheel, you can continue going, taking that inhale, pressing yourself all the way up, coming into your bridge pose. We're going to hold here and breathe. Keeping our knees energetically squeezed towards the inside, rotating those quads, really extending that back. Let's hold here for 3 more breaths. Let's take our last inhale. Exhale as we find our way down. Slowly, starting from the top, rolling our spine back down to the mat. Let's extend our legs out. Taking an inhale, let's come sitting up. We have to counter-indicate that pose. So inhale those hands up to the sky. Let's exhale, coming into a forward fold, grabbing those big toes with your peace fingers, popping your knees if you're not feeling the stretch from your lower back. Don't round yourself forward. We want to keep ourselves nice. Don't undo all that good work that we did on our spinal flexibility. Let's keep ourselves nice and limber, coming out of our hip joints here. And really breathe thoughtfully, mindfully, and energetically, sending the air to the lower back, to your spine to help separate each one of those discs. Inviting flexibility into the spine. With each exhale, allowing yourself to bend forward a little bit more. Excellent. Let's take our last inhale as we pull a little tighter, exhaling, coming into that release, sending our arms up into the sky, releasing our arms to the side. Let's scooch our bottoms forward, bringing our feet to the mat once more. Let's exhale, coming down, laying on our back with our legs up. And this time, let's inhale that right leg up to the sky and catching it with our hands, palm over palm. Exhale as we pull that leg in just a little bit, head to knee here, stretching out the back of those legs. And we're not going to do that for too much longer, as we've done this in every position we possibly could today. Let's just bring that knee, this elbow, or excuse me, ankle, right ankle to that left knee. Inhale that left knee, keeping that leg parallel and flexed. Let's bring our palm under palm behind our leg here, exhaling, pulling that knee towards our shoulder as we stretch out the piriformis. Really breathe into that stretch, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because you'll feel it. It's that wonderful figure 4 stretch that we all can't get enough of. And it really helps with releasing tension in our lower backs as well. So keep breathing into that figure 4. Breathing, allowing that piriformis and that iliopsoas to stretch out as well. Well, I guess the iliopsoas would be in the front. Let's inhale, placing that foot back down on the mat, releasing from that palm over palm. Let's release that right foot back to the mat as well. Let's inhale that left leg up into the sky. Exhale, bringing into that forward fold, keeping the foot flexed. Holding here for just a few moments. And with an inhale, let's bring our left knee to our right ankle, or our left ankle to our right knee. My goodness. Bringing that right leg up this time, keeping that leg parallel to the mat, flexing the foot, bring ourselves into stretching that psoas muscle by bringing that right knee to that right shoulder. Stretching out the psoas, or the, excuse me, stretching out that hip. Oh, Wednesdays. Breathing into that stretch. Wonderful. Let's release here, sending our arms and legs out almost as if we're coming into a boat pose. Exhaling, let's inhale, bring our arms and legs and head tucking in a cannonball pose, pulling in tight, 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 and releasing with an exhale, letting your legs and feet and arms drop on the floor, opening up so we can come into our Shavasana. We did wonderful work today, so this part will always be welcome. Let's take a deep breath into the nose and out through the mouth, inviting in that relaxation as we shut our eyes if you haven't done so already. Letting your body rest as we hang out here in Shavasana. And really allow yourself to just relax and take this break. And I'll keep an eye on the clock. And before we come up this evening, I would like to read for you a passage from the Daily Stoic. Today's passage is on the real source of harm. Keep in mind that it isn't the one who has it in for you and takes a swipe that harms you, but rather the harm comes from your own belief about the abuse. So when someone arouses your anger, know that it's really your own opinion fueling it. Instead, make it your first response not to be carried away by such impressions. For with time and distance, self-mastery is always easily achieved. Epictetus. The Stoics remind us that there is really no such thing as an objectively good or bad occurrence. When a billionaire loses $1 million in market fluctuations, it's not the same when you or I lose $1 million. Criticism from your worst enemy is received differently than negative words from a spouse. If someone sends you an angry email but you never see it, did it actually happen? In other words, these situations require our participation, context, and categorization in order to be bad. Our reaction is actually what decides whether harm has occurred. If we feel that we have been wronged or get angry, of course that's how it will seem. If we raise our voice because we feel we're being confronted, naturally a confrontation will ensue. But if we retain control of ourselves, we decide whether to label something good or bad. In fact, if that same event happened to us at different points in our lifetime, we might even have very different reactions. So why not choose now to not apply these labels? Why not choose not to react? And with that, I invite you to begin allowing a little movement into your body as we come back into awareness by wiggling those toes, wiggle your fingers, maybe rolling your shoulders, rolling your legs, jostling your hips. And if you're laying, taking a deep inhale, let's exhale ourselves, rolling onto one side, holding here for a moment with those eyes closed if in your practice, allowing yourselves to be cradled. Let's go ahead and press up into our Sukhasana, easy seat, and crisscross your applesauce, as usual. Let's inhale those hands up once more. Exhale and bring our palms down into prayer pose, opening up your eyes if you haven't already. Well, thank you for joining me this evening in the Asana Sana studio. And this class was Asana Sana Strength. I hope that you feel nice and flexible in your spine, and you feel like you've strengthened some core muscles that we might not have used before in the back. And as always, I had a delight having you in class. I cannot wait to see you all next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time here in the studio. And I like to send you out with my typical, be the light that you wish to see in the world, and see the light that you wish to see in the world. It does exist. And I will send you off to have a wonderful evening by releasing you into an Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.